Module 1. Unit 1. Definition of entrepreneurship as a business activity. Table of Contents. 1.0. Introduction. 2.0. Objectives. 3.0. Main Content. 3.1. Definition of Terms. 3.1.1. Definition of Entrepreneur. 3.1.2. Definition of Entrepreneurship. 3.1.3. Definition of Development. 3.1.4. Definition of Entrepreneurship Development. 3.2. Entrepreneurship as a business activity. 3.3. The entrepreneur as an investor. 3.4. Key concepts in entrepreneurship. 4.0. Summary. 5.0. Conclusion. Connect with me via WhatsApp, +234 703 247 4726, to get more interesting videos. Please, to support our ministry, remember to like the video, and also find it in your heart to subscribe to our YouTube channel and then gently tap the bell to turn on the notification, so as not to miss out on the next videos. 2.0. Objectives. At the end of this unit, you should be able to 1. Define the terms entrepreneur, entrepreneurship, development, and entrepreneurship development. Describe entrepreneurship as a business activity. Identify and describe the characteristics and objective of business. Discuss certain key concepts as they relate to entrepreneurship development. 3.0. Main Content. You would have learned in ENT 102, Principles of Economics, that there are 4 factors of production, namely, land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. For ease of reference, we would define land as the surface of earth that is not sea, and all natural resources or endowments. Labor as the human beings, skilled and unskilled, workforce that would help work on the machines, equipment, etc., to transform the raw materials into finished products for consumption by the consumer. The entrepreneur is 4th, and the most important of all the factors. This is because the entrepreneur harnesses all the human and material resources, provides the finance required, takes risk, initiates the ideas to transform into consumable product. 3.1. Definition of terms. We shall define the terms entrepreneurship, entrepreneur, development, and entrepreneurship development under separate subheads below. 3.1.1. Definition of entrepreneur. The word entrepreneur originated from the French word entreprendre, which means to undertake. Akani, 2010. In business context, it means to start a business, identify a business opportunity, organize resources, manage and assume the risk of a business or an enterprise. It is also used to describe those who took charge, lead a project, which would deliver valuable benefits, and bring it to completion. In other words, those who can manage uncertainty, and bring success in the face of daunting challenges that would destroy a less well-managed venture. Hornby, 2006, defined an entrepreneur as a person who makes money by starting or running businesses, especially when this involves taking financial risks. Drucker, 1995, quoted in Jimengong, 2004, defined an entrepreneur as someone who shifts economic resources out of an area of lower, and into an area of higher productivity and greater yield. This definition has 2 aspects that deserve to be underlined. First, there are resources that undergo manipulation. Second, the activity seeks to attain higher productivity and greater yield. In the science of economics, we learn how to optimize the factors of production, and at the same time seek to attain equilibrium in the distribution of wealth. In other words, we strive to get the most out of the existing resources, and to establish equilibrium. The entrepreneur is someone who sees change as normal and healthy. Usually, the entrepreneur does not bring about change. Rather, he searches for change, responds to it, and exploits it as an opportunity. Entrepreneurs are characterized by the need to be independent, to create value, to contribute to family and society, to become rich or, quite often, not to be unemployed. Potential entrepreneurs display initiative and ambition, have business sense and foresight, and are decisive. They are agents of change who accelerate the generation, application, and spread of innovative ideas. UNDP, 2010. Unido, 1999, defined entrepreneurship as the process of using initiative to transform business concept to new venture, diversify existing venture or enterprise to high-growing venture potentials. The entrepreneur acts in a different way. The entrepreneur brings to light a differentiator, something unique, which represents value in the eyes of the buyer or consumer. The idea is that the person at the helm should consider the organization as operating under a process designed to provide value to the consumer. When all aspects of the business are geared towards achieving this goal, that is, value to the customer or a perception of it, then, such an organization is entrepreneurial or represents entrepreneurship. The American human psychologist, Abraham Maslow, sees the entrepreneur as someone who can discern change, enjoy it, and improvise without being forewarned. According to him, the entrepreneur is a here-now creator, and improviser, who is not afraid of being viewed as operating in dissonance with general practice and belief. Stevens, 2000. To say it in another way, the entrepreneur is someone who perceives or senses opportunity where others fear rejection. He will not talk of obstacles but challenges. His mindset is tuned to success, and failure, though he is aware of the possibility, does not preoccupy him. 3.1.2. Definition of entrepreneurship. UNDP, 2010, defined entrepreneurship as the process of using private initiative to transform a business concept into a new venture, or to grow and diversify an existing venture or enterprise with high growth potential. Entrepreneurs identify an innovation to seize an opportunity, mobilize money and management skills, and take calculated risks to open markets for new products, processes, and services. You will observe that entrepreneurship is a derivative word from entrepreneur. To Shane, 2010, entrepreneurship is the act of being an entrepreneur, which can be defined as one who undertakes innovations, finances, and displays business acumen in an effort to transform innovations into economic goods. This may result in new organizations, or may be part of revitalizing mature organizations in response to a perceived opportunity. The most obvious form of entrepreneurship is that of starting new businesses, referred to as startup company. However, in recent years, the term has been extended to include social and political forms of entrepreneurial activity. When entrepreneurship is describing activities within a firm or large organization, it is referred to as intrapreneurship, and may include corporate venturing, when large entities spin off organizations. Garba, 2010, asserted that the term entrepreneurship means different things to different people, and with varying conceptual perspectives. He stated that in spite of these differences, there are some common aspects such as risk-taking, creativity, independence, and rewards. The concept of entrepreneurship has a wide range of meanings. It was first used in the early 18th century by an Irish man by name Richard Cantillon, who was then living in France. On the extreme, it is a term used broadly in connection with the innovation of modern industrial business leader, which describe an originator of a profitable business idea. Akani, 2010. According to Joseph Schumpeter, an Australian economist, the single function which constitute entrepreneurship concept is innovation, such as new products, new production method, new market, and new forms of organization. Wealth is created when such innovation results in new demand. Entrepreneurship is therefore a process which involves the creation of an innovative economic organization, for the purpose of gain or growth, under condition of risk and uncertainty. Dollinger, 2001, quoted in Akani, 2010. Van der Werf and Brush, 1989, quoted in Akani, 2010, after reviewing 25 definitions, concluded that entrepreneurship is a business activity, consisting of some intersections of the following behaviors: creativity, innovation, general management, risk-bearing, and intention to realize high levels of growth. Hisrich and Peters, 1992, state that entrepreneurship is a continuous process of creating something different that has value to the users. 3.1.3 Definition of development. Abhyanga, 2010, define development as the act or process of growth, progress, and improvement within a physical setting. Hamby, 2006, similarly defined development as the gradual growth of something, so that it becomes more advanced and stronger. 3.1.4 Definition of entrepreneurship development, ed. A worldwide consensus on the critical role of competitive markets and entrepreneurs in economic development, has emerged in the last decade. In developing countries, the primary barrier to economic growth is often not so much, with a scarcity of capital, labor, or land, but it is the scarcity of both the dynamic entrepreneurs that can bring these together, and the markets and mechanisms that can facilitate them in this task. Relating all the earlier three definitions of an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship, and development, UNDP, 2010, then defined entrepreneurship development as referring to the process of enhancing entrepreneurial skills and knowledge, through structured training and institution-building programs. According to UNDP, ED aims to enlarge the base of entrepreneurs, in order to hasten the pace at which new ventures are created. This accelerates employment generation and economic development. Entrepreneurship development focuses on the individual who wishes to start or expand a business. Furthermore, entrepreneurship development concentrates more on growth potential and innovation. The federal government of Nigeria recognized the role entrepreneurship could play in jump-starting the growth and development of the economy, decided on two things in 2009. 1. That entrepreneurship education should be made a general studies course for all undergraduates of the tertiary institutions. The second was that a Center for Entrepreneurial Development be established in each of the tertiary institutions where different skills would be taught. At the end of their program of study, graduates of the tertiary institutions would be able to set up their own businesses with a view to contributing to the economy. Brown and Clough, 1997, quoted in Koche, 2009, see an entrepreneur as a person who recognizes a business opportunity and who organizes, manages, and assumes the risk of a business enterprise focusing on that business opportunity. 3.2 Entrepreneurship as a business activity. We had earlier on described entrepreneurship as the activities of the entrepreneur, geared towards identifying an innovative idea, to seize an opportunity, mobilize money and management skills, and take calculated risks to open markets for new products, processes, and services. Brown et al., 1997, quoted in Koche, 2009, state that business is all of the activities of an individual or group of individuals in producing, and distributing goods and services to customers. According to them, an entrepreneur or a business wants to identify the needs, wants, goals, values, etc., of the potential and prospective buyer or consumer, with a view to developing a product or service that would be tailored to satisfying these needs, wants, goals, values, etc. The business of an entrepreneur therefore involves the following activities. 3.2.1 Producing goods and services. Business provides goods and services to you. In today's business, goods and services are many. Examples of goods are handset, cloth, computer, radio, house, etc. The examples of services include education, offering consultancy in a clinic or hospital, serving as travel agency, or providing accommodation in a hotel or guest house. 3.2.2. Activities that add value to the goods and services. A lot of activities happen before goods and services get to your doorstep. A product is not just made in a day and finds its way to the store. These are some of the activities that are performed by business. They include organizing, managing, producing, and marketing. Organizing. Within a company, someone will be in charge to organize human and material resources to provide products. Manage. If there is no one to manage finance, human resources and production, the company can't go on smoothly. Production. It is the responsibility of a business to produce those physical items you are using, for example, radio, wristwatches, etc. Marketing. Business is involved in advertising, distributing, and selling those products produced. 3.2.3. Resources used by the business. Companies use resources to be able to perform those functions listed above. These resources that business will use include human resources, salesmen, accountants, manager. Materials. Building offices, stores, raw materials for production. Business decides on choices of how to combine their resources, and many more every day, at what cost to achieve their aim. 3.3. Characteristics of business. Business has some or all of these characteristics. Exchange, sale, or transfer of goods and services. For every business, there must be exchange of goods and services for money. 1. Profit motive. For every business activities undertaken, it is for profit-making motive. However, profitable organizations and some corporations are established to provide services. 2. Dealing in goods and services. For every organization that is business-oriented, it must produce goods and services. 3. Uncertainty and risk-bearing. Every business undertaking must take risk, and there is always uncertainty. Uncertainty may arise as a result of competition, wrong decisions, and unethical. 4. Continuity and regularity. A business undertaking must always be in business and not on and off. 3.3.1. Objectives of business. The objectives of a business are as follows. 1. Profit. The aim of an organization is to make profit. 2. Survival. Every business must have as a goal to continue to survive or exist. 3. Growth. A business must not only survive, but it must have as goal to be the biggest. 4. Market share. Every business must strive to gain greater control of its market, in terms of market coverage and patronage of its products and services. 5. Productivity. It must continue to produce. 6. Innovation. Business must try to see that it's the first and best to bring up new ideas. 7. Employees' welfare. Business must maximally want to take care of its workers. 8. Service to consumer. Consumer satisfaction is another objective of any business concern. And 9. Social responsibility. Apart from doing 1 to 8, it must do to other things that people around the business must benefit. Brown et al., 1997, quoted in Koche, 2009, concluded that business plays an important role in your life today, and will play an increasingly important role in the future. Likewise, you affect what business does now, and will do in the future. It's important to know business tricks, and how you can relate to the business world. Businesses' owners are proud to be their own owners of business. For example, there is satisfaction of being their own boss. Income comes into the business owner's hands. There is equally an opportunity to grow. 3.3.2. Entrepreneur as an investor. Hornby, 2006, defines an investor as someone who spends his energy, time, efforts, financial resources, etc., on something he considers to be good or useful, in anticipation that it will yield benefits. Finance is a fundamental issue in the development of an entrepreneurship. An entrepreneur relies heavily on personal savings, contributions from friends, relations, and business partners, as well as loan from the banks. 3.4. Key concepts in entrepreneurship. We shall briefly discuss the following key concepts as they relate to entrepreneurship: goods and services, money income and real income. Gross domestic product, GDP, gross national product, GNP, how entrepreneurship contributes to GDP and GNP. 3.4.1. Goods and services. We had earlier referred to goods and services as consumable items, by the prospective or potential buyers or consumers. Examples of goods are handset, cloth, computer, radio, house, etc. The examples of services include education, offering consultancy in a clinic or hospital, serving as travel agency, or providing accommodation in a hotel or guest house, and by so doing, creating wealth, generating employment opportunity, etc. 3.4.2. Money income and real income. Money income is the sum total of income earned in nominal terms. However, real income is income measured in terms of its purchasing power. 3.4.3. Gross domestic product, GDP. This is defined as the market value of all goods and services produced in an economy within a given period, usually 1 year, plus income earned locally. 3.4.4. Gross national product, GNP. This is defined as the value of all final goods and services produced in specific period within a year, including incomes earned from abroad. 3.4.5. How entrepreneurship contributes to GDP and GNP. The entrepreneurship contributes to the economy through the goods or services produced for, which they are paid for by consumers, through generation of economic activities such as 1. Buying. 2. Selling. 3. Marketing. 4. Payment of taxes to the government. 5. Undertaking corporate social responsibility to the various stakeholders within the community in which the enterprise is operated. 4.0. Conclusion. Entrepreneurship development is vital for national economic development. The entrepreneurs, both at individual and corporate levels, play an important role in the developmental process. They mobilize human, financial, and material resources in the establishment of business organizations. These provide goods and services to satisfy human needs and contribute to GNP and GDP. 5.0. Summary. Entrepreneurship development is a viable alternative to economic development. Entrepreneurs are individuals that undertake this risk of establishing, running, and growing a business. On the other hand, entrepreneurship is the process which the entrepreneur undergoes in establishing a business. The primary objective of business is to make profit through the provision of goods and services. Other objectives include market share growth, social responsibility, among others. Entrepreneur can also be viewed as investor, who by means of parting with his money, adds value to goods and services to satisfy consumers, prosper himself and the nation at large.